Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, what started as a suspicious person call turns into a major discovery for local law enforcement. We take an inside look at Victoria's new public safety headquarters, find out what services you'll find there. Plus, the food bank of the Golden Crescent gets a big delivery, where it came from and how it will be used.
Well, we're looking at our live picture. Lots of cloud cover, but also very warm today. Got up to almost 80 degrees. We'll be on the warm side, but the weekend changes. We'll have a talk about your cooler weather coming up in a moment.
And we got the full girls basketball air-round matchups announced for tomorrow and Friday. We'll reveal all of them later on.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker. A suspicious person report led to the discovery of homemade incendiary devices inside a vehicle. Victoria County Sheriff's deputies responded to the suspicious person report this morning in the 1600 block of Azalea Street. Deputies located a suspect matching the description and began investigating. Officials say the devices were improvised, flammable Molotov cocktail-style devices recovered from a truck associated with the suspect. The suspect was taken into custody and taken to the Victoria County Jail. ATF agents removed all of the devices safely. Here's a look in the inside of the new public safety headquarters for the city of Victoria. Victoria Police, the Fire Administration, the Municipal Court, and Public Records are just some of the departments moving into the building this week. In the lobby of the new facility, you'll find a vintage fire truck the fire department preserved over the years. While the building is operational, the community is invited to an upcoming ribbon cutting and grand opening event next Wednesday at 10 a.m. Just a reminder, this is not the new driver's license office. That project is still ongoing, so you still have to go to either Port Lavaca or Cuero for Department of Public Safety services. Catholics across the area are observing Ash Wednesday today. That's the start of the Lenten season. 25 News Now reporter Ray Mosley talked with the local priest to learn more about the importance of this day.
Ashes represent, the ashes are a sign of that we are dust, and to dust we shall return.
Ash Wednesday marks the start of Lenten season for Catholics. Believers of the Catholic faith call Ash Wednesday a day of preparation before the arrival of Easter. They observe the 40 days of Lent by fasting, praying, and the fellowship of Mass. On Ash Wednesday Mass, priests apply ashes in the sign of a cross on believers' foreheads. The ashes are made from burning palm leaves from previous celebrations.
It marks the changing of the time and seasons, a time of penance, kind of somber time, a time to really prepare oneself spiritually for Easter.
Father Christopher Fuchs at St. Mary's Catholic Church says Ash Wednesday is a reminder of having trust in their faith.
It's actually, to me, quite inspiring and very hopeful, because so many people will go to church today, and it's not even that they're required to. They voluntarily, on their own, they're drawn to it. They recognize this.
Ash Wednesday is a day of renewal, embracing generosity, and acknowledging. Ray Mosley, KVU TV, 25 News Now.
More than 440 people voted early today in the March primary election. This brings the total for the first 2 days of early voting to 747. That's 1.3% of registered voters. No early votes by mail have been received. Early voting goes through February 27th. Now, this is what they call winter weather in South Florida, but we're in South Texas, kind of the same. So, Mac, as you're looking at this, you can't be this surprised, though.
Well, it is a little bit above normal for us to be this warm. I mean, we'll be pushing 80 degrees for the next couple of days, but at least the frontal systems are still moving. This one is not the one that's going to cool us down. It's basically this one. It's going to be rolling through here on the weekend, and that will give us a little bit of a chill, if I can use the word, for next week. In fact, you may be even looking for a sweater by then. Temperatures will be in the 60s, and then at night down into the 40s. So it's not completely over with just yet. We'll talk more about the warm rest of this week coming up in just a few minutes. Don, back to you.
Mike, thank you. Smoke filled the air in suburban Houston this morning from a fire at a recycling plant that erupted early Tuesday evening in Dayton. Fire officials say the blaze involves things like washing machines and paint cans. A shelter-in-place order was lifted, but nearby residents are still advised to keep their doors and windows shut. Investigators don't know what caused the fire, but they believe lithium batteries may be involved. No injuries were reported. TxDOT is hosting a public meeting to share details on a possible relief route around Bay City. The virtual meeting tomorrow will give residents a chance to review the proposals and weigh in from home. If you prefer to show up in person, there's also a meeting set for tomorrow at the Bay City Civic Center. For details on how to join the virtual meeting, come to our website, crossroadstoday.com. We're hearing 911 audio from medical staff at an ICE detention facility at Fort Bliss in West Texas. The emergency calls pertain to 2 detainees that staff said tried to hang or strangle themselves last month. Andrew J. Polk lets us hear the audio, which was obtained through an open records request with the city of El Paso.
El Paso 911, operator Brubaker, what's the address of the emergency?
Hey, I need EMS to Camp Montana East Detention Center.
Since ICE fully opened Camp East Montana in mid-August last year, the El Paso Fire Department has responded 130 times to the facility for medical emergencies, including January 4th, the day Cuban migrant Gerardo Lunas Campos died.
He tried to hang himself, and then we put him in cuffs, and he kept going.
The El Paso County's Office of the Medical Examiner later ruled Lunas Campos' death as a homicide, which ICE disputes based on their staff's response. Parts of the 911 call are redacted as the caller details what's being done at the moment.
And you said that he tried to hang himself, correct?
Yes, medical is currently.
Is he awake?
Medical still on him with the AED, and I think he still has vomit in his mouth.
On January 14th, the fire department responded the same day Nicaraguan Victor Manuel Diaz died, which staff again reported as a suicide attempt.
Yes, we got a situation where they found someone that tried to committed suicide or tried to commit suicide, and so we're working on him right now at the clinic.
Autopsy results aren't available as Manuel Diaz's body was taken to William Beaumont Army Medical Center, not the medical examiner.
Okay, sir, can you tell me exactly what happened?
You know what? We have a detainee here in observation in one of our urgent units, rooms in the medical clinic area. And, they were doing rounds and they just found them with, I guess, his pants tied up to his neck, I believe. I was not the one that got here, but they're actually, like I mentioned, they're working on them now.
ICE put out a statement after the incident saying no detainee is denied emergency care while at its facilities. If you see news happening, call our newsroom at 361-576-0026 or send us an email at staff@crossroadstoday.com. The Salvation Army of Victoria has new commanding officers. Majors Russell and Tracy Chakowski will lead the Salvation Army here for the next 18 months. They have been involved in the Salvation Army for 30 years in Texas cities like Beaumont, San Antonio, Corpus Christi, Texarkana, El Paso, and Houston. They look forward now to serving the Crossroads.
Salvation Army is very, very healthy here in Victoria, and we look forward to the next year and a half to pave the way to even provide better services, more services.
The majors succeed Captain Kenny Jones, who was transferred to the Salvation Army of Beaumont, Port Arthur. The food bank of the Golden Crescent just got a big delivery, thousands of eggs, thanks to a settlement with one of Texas' largest egg producers. About 2,700 dozen eggs showed up this morning. Attorney General Ken Paxton finalized an agreement with Wharton County-based Cal-Maine Foods, which is sending more than 2 million eggs to food banks across the state. Locally, the food bank will pass those eggs along to partner agencies along the 11 counties it serves. And here are some of the top headlines in the Port Lavaca Wave. Dredging of the Matagorda Ship Channel is expected to begin in April. The Calhoun Port Authority was informed the U.S. Corps of Engineers is reviewing maintenance dredging bids. And the Port Lavaca City Council approved a rate increase for the city's waste management services during its February 9th meeting. To read these stories and more, go to portlavacawave.com. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6, officers arrest a medical professional for performing surgery under the influence. Also ahead, we'll take a look at winter's temporary artistry etched against the horizon of the crossroads.
Growing number of people in our community, nighttime doesn't mean sleep, it means survival. 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting takes a closer look at homelessness here at home, the challenges people face every day, and what's being done to help.
Being able to go take a shower and rest and good to go to work the next day and be comfortable without having to go to work dirty, that'd be awesome.
Life without a home. Thursday at 10 p.m.
North Texas dentist is charged with treating patients and performing surgery while intoxicated. Drew Maurer reports police in Sherman are taking these charges very seriously.
It's definitely a very unusual case.
One Sherman police haven't seen before. Around noon Monday, a pediatric dental office reported an incident out of the ordinary.
The caller alleged that there was a dentist practicing and showing signs of intoxication.
When officers arrived to Pediatric Dentistry of Sherman off Loy Lake Road, that is exactly what they saw.
They found Kelly Buck, who did exhibit signs of intoxication, failed the field sobriety test. She was ultimately arrested for performing surgery while intoxicated and taken to the Grayson County Jail.
36-year-old Buck has been a licensed dentist in the state of Texas since 2016 and has a clean disciplinary action file. Regardless, Sherman police reinforce that they take this matter seriously.
Very serious, especially if you were the patient or the victim in this case, and for the whole practice as well. So we're thankful that we were notified and were able to prevent a dangerous situation from continuing.
Buck, who resides in Plano, was released Tuesday after posting $10,000 bond.
Police did not say if the dentist appeared to be intoxicated by alcohol or drugs. If convicted, she faces up to 2 years in prison. To get more news, weather, and sports, come to our website, crossroadstoday.com. Here are some of the top headlines in the Cuero Record. Cuero Regional Hospital will be evaluating pain management plans for all patients to comply with updated guidance from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. And Cuero police are stepping up enforcement of school bus laws. Police say drivers who pass school buses illegally can face criminal charges. To read these stories and more, visit DeWittCountyToday.com. In the Star Wars movie Return of the Jedi, Yoda describes the Force as, quote, its energy surrounds us, unquote. Veteran photojournalist Bill Clough says the same is true of art.
Hemingway wrote that part of you died each year when the leaves fell from the trees and their branches were bare against the wind in the cold wintry night. Never one to question Hemingway. When you're trying to write in a Paris winter, maybe the cold prevented his noticing the art of trees in winter. They all look the same. And yet, no two are alike. Some seem to defy the sky in shapes misshapen and grotesque. Others, delicate, almost fragile. Birds, seeking a nightly roost, are not particular. Trees in winter seem to illustrate their own fractal geometry. Twigs resemble small branches resemble large branches resemble trunks. Some bare branches bear coats of Spanish moss, others decorate with mistletoe. It's all a matter of seeing, of shifting focus, of taking the time to be still and to look. Rock star Brandon Boyd knew, art is everywhere, he said, and everywhere is art. Whether backlit on the far horizon of a winter sunset, or even when trees with nothing to hide etch their image on an ominous night. That winter artwork won't be around much longer. Red buds already have taken out their spring fashions and trying them on for size.
Spring officially starts here at 9:46 a.m. March 20th. At Mac, I'll bet you the temperature will be like 43.
43 a month from now. I shudder to think how warm it'll be by then. Today, we've made almost 80 degrees. We're at 72 right now, still overcast, as you see right about there. We made it to 78. Tomorrow we should be around 80, 82 degrees, and it's not going to be lasting forever, though. By the weekend, we do have a cold north wind coming in. We'll talk about that after this. Well, good evening, everybody. Yes, Don was mentioning the beginning of spring. It's not for another month. So theoretically, we're in winter here, and spring won't start for another month. What is June going to look like? I worry. Anyway, we have a frontal system to the north of us that's actually helping to pile up the moisture on top of it. That's why we got that overcast today, but the south winds continue pumping that in. This front is actually going to stall and fall apart just to the north of us, so it's not the one that's going to help us. This one is going to help us. It's part of that huge western states winter storm that's affecting pretty much the entire western half of the country. They're getting rain and snow. Finally, after a month of a drought, they have been in a very dry winter season. The thing is, it all comes at one time, and they're having all kinds of problems, especially at higher elevations where the snow is getting heavy. They're not complaining. I'm sure they're indoors, snug as a bug, because that's what they need to be doing right about now. Traveling right now out here is pretty difficult. I don't know if you're heading out west for any reason, but this is the system number 2, system number 3 coming in to Northern California right about now with heavy rainfall. So they're going to be looking in the Sierra at about 10 feet of snow in about a week. Okay, so yeah, it's a whole lot coming down real fast, and that's the problem that they're having out there. So the good news is that we're even getting snows and valley rains down as far south as New Mexico. But in terms of we getting a break, getting more rain, which is what we're really looking for, it's going to be hard in the next 7 days. 84 tomorrow, then 83, and then 80 on Saturday. But then what happened here? Well, there's that little front. It's a north wind coming in. It's going to be rather breezy, but it's going to be dry, and their chances of getting anything with its passage is very slim at this point in time. Tomorrow morning, well, yes, another morning of fog. If those of you that are early risers, consider you're going to have half-mile visibility, but after Sunday, we won't have that to worry about, as the dry air is really going to be rolling in and taking over. Now, here's a big look at the big picture. We're doing, quite nicely. We're going to go through from into Thursday. You can see not much happening for us. Storm number 2 is up here. Storm number 3 begins to move in. Then we go to Friday, and you see something happening here. That's a little bit of cloud cover, maybe that 20% that will pass with that front coming through. But then after that goes, we get nothing, because it's going to be very dry and windy. In fact, on Sunday, we're going to have winds probably in 35-mile-an-hour range, so it'll be rather blustery. I don't know if you're flying a kite or going to be doing anything outdoors, but you're going to be dealing with the wind. So overcast tonight. It's going to be mostly cloudy down along the beaches with a high of about 78. In Cuero, you'll get a little bit more sun, and that'll help get you up to about 80 degrees. But we've got about 3 days. That would be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of mild weather. We're talking t-shirt weather here. But then Sunday, you're going to be feeling that north wind, and the high's only 67. Okay, that's, fairly comfortable daytime. It's the mornings that'll get down into the 40s. So yeah, we'll be using some sort of sweater activity for early next week. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that. Put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here's Don.
Mac, thank you. And Sports Director Max Williams is here. He's talking football. It's Texas.
There's a couple times, Don, just talk about football, right? When we're already in winter sports season. Well, hey, what? I'm doing it again, talking about Refugio football star and Xander Wills committed out to the next level. We'll highlight this big-time signing that's coming up next. We officially have all the second-round playoff matches for high school girls basketball, and so here's some of the lists that we're going to look at. In the 2A ranks, the Shiner Lady Comanches, the host the Evadale Rebels. That's going to start Friday night at 6:30 p.m. We'll be at Magnolia West High School. Then Yorktown is going to face the Harper Longhorns. That's also Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Out there, it's at Devine High School. Then Refugio Lady Cats will battle the San Saro Armadillos out in San Antonio, same time on Friday night at Littleton Gymnasium. 3A Edna Cowgirls will face the Crystal City Javelinas. That's Friday night at Falls City High School. Tie Day will be the only Thursday night game against the Coal Cougars. That's going to be at Goliad Event Center starting at 6:30 p.m. Then in 4A, the County Sandies get a big win over El Campo last night. They'll face Tulsa Midway Cherokees again Friday night, same time, and at the Goliad Event Center. And then both for Victoria East and West girls teams, they're going to be playing there at Gonzales High School, with West opening up at 6 p.m. versus the Anderson Trojans, while East will play there at 8 p.m. versus the Henderson Hawks. So if you want to see all the matchups, though, again, we'll keep you posted on Cross crossroadstoday.com. But yesterday we also had a chance to talk to some of the West Stars out there and their head coach Christina Williams and Haley Brewer about how they felt getting that victory last night and what it'll take to beat Anderson there from Friday night.
Because with good defense, you can get easier offense. So they just turned it up on the ball pressure. I mean, getting 10-second calls, we adjusted our ball pressure and I think played a little smarter and applied more ball pressure in the half court and kind of backed off in the front court.
We definitely need to learn how to start off stronger and not give them a chance and take the air out of the tire.
Victoria West will be so excited to face Anderson there at 6 p.m. And again, we'll have all those matchups for you there on crossroadstoday.com/sports. Now, the boys basketball, they're going to be starting next week. They finished off the regular season yesterday. Here are all the playoff-bound teams on the boys' side. In 2A, we have Shiner, Bloomington, and Yorktown, with Bloomington already getting ready to face top-ranked Thorndale Bulldogs. That's already Monday, February 23rd at 6 p.m. at Giddings High School. Then in 3A, we have Industrial, Yoakum, and Goliad, with a high-level clash between the Yoakum Bulldogs and Goliad Tigers. It's already announced Tuesday, February 24th at 6 p.m. at Calhoun High School. Then in the 4A ranks, we have Cuero, Calhoun, and Bay City that are all going to the next round. Now we head over to football. Refugio football star and running back Xander Willis announced his commitment to San Bernardino Valley to play football and study academics at the next level. And Willis, he had a career season at the running back spot, rushing for career over 2,000 yards for his career with 43 touchdowns and had an impact at linebacker as well. 131 total tackles, 40 tackles for loss. That was all in his senior year there on the defensive side. And I think he's going to do great things out in California. We're staying in high school football. The Palacios Sharks revealed their 2026 full schedule. They're going to open the season on the road versus Latonia on August 28th. Then the rest of the non-district consists of at home versus St. Joseph, at Tidehaven in week 3, at Industrial in week 4, then host Mathis in week 5. They open up in their new district, though, on October 9th versus Sweeney Bulldogs. And then again, they have 2 tough games at home. October 16th, they'll be facing Edna at home, and then Columbus in that district now on October 30th. So if you want to see the full schedule for Palacios, head over to crossroadstoday.com/sports. And quickly, some softball scores from yesterday we forgot to mention was out with Ganado Maidens getting a big victory over Hallettsville last night, 10-0, only allowing 2 hits there to the Brahmas. They're now 5-0, and they're going to be hosting their own tournament starting tomorrow morning. The St. Joseph Lady Flyers, they battled the Cuero Lady Gobblers yesterday after getting some confidence in the Katy tournament. They wrap it back with a rally, come from behind victory over Cuero 13-8. Avery Grimsinger and Shane Miser both combined for 7 hits and had 3 RBIs. The Flyers will be hosting the Warden Tigers at home Friday night at 5:30 p.m. And that's going to do it here in sports. Don, back to you.
Max, thank you. We're back in a moment. We'll tell you about Harbor Police in New York. They are credited with saving a life. And finally tonight, an injured bald eagle is recovering after being pulled from the ice of the Hudson River. New York Harbor officers posted body camera of the Tuesday morning rescue. The eagle was spotted crying out in distress before officers used a catch pole and a tarp to secure the bird and bring it to safety. The eagle did not try to flee during the rescue and was bleeding from its wing. Officials said members of the harbor unit removed the bird and transported it to a New Jersey animal sanctuary. So if those officers don't do that, there's the eagle right there in the towel or tarp or something like that. But if they don't do that, I don't think the eagle has chances of recovering or making it through. I mean, look at the eagle just shivering there.
On an ice floe. Obviously, her wing's bad, so she can't go anywhere. That's pretty amazing to catch a bird like that with a beak, with wings.
That looked like the bald eagle, like Sam right there, that shot in the cage. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Looked good. He looked good.
But fortunately, the eagle is recovering, and that's a good news.
All right. Well, folks, we are looking for a couple more days of very warm weather. Tomorrow will be definitely into the 80s, and we'll be in the 80s all the way to Saturday. Now, Saturday afternoon, big north wind kicks in, and Sunday's going to be windy and, can I use the word cold for 67?
Well, I mean, compared to 84, yes.
Yeah, colder, cooler will be in the 60s. Early part of next week, but the night times will be chilly down into the 40s. So there's some cool weather on the other side of the weekend.
And we're still in February, so that fits.
Still in winter.
There you go. Thank you, Mac, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you tonight for 25 News Now at 10. Have a good one, everybody.